ಈಶಾ ನೋ ಒಟ್ಟವಾದ್ರೂ ಹಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಈಗ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು. Hello, good evening. So, hello everybody. Welcome to this part of the project vision for the parents orientation and training. And I would like to share my screen now with respect to the presentation that we have for the evening. And so we'll go with an agenda of the whole, we'll cover the presentation, and then after that we will take up some question and answer, anything that we have related to this session. And in between, if there is any real question like a showstopper, if it is really not able to, if you are not able to get it at all, then you can please go ahead and open this chat window, and then you can um, we can talk. Hold on 1 second. I'm just okay. So now I'm going to share my screen here, and we can bear with me with my slow laptop here. Mm, okay. Um, Okay, so we have the so once again welcome you all to the project vision. Again, we have taken a very big step in terms of I would like to call it as a vision movement, because it is most of it is believing in it and joining hands together to make some positive change in terms of our children health and children's not only just the eye vision health but overall health, and taking the whole ideas and thoughts forward. And so, what is the difference? And some of you have attended the open house or the open session that we had a couple of weeks back, and we did discuss about what is different this time. So, we have taken up the active therapy intervention just like how we did last time in the last three workshops, which is eye exercises, eye therapy, yoga, overall yoga, that we have had the intervention in the last few workshops. But this workshop, we are going to have passive therapy intervention as well. So now what I'm going to do is project the on the screen. We are going to bring in the lifestyle recommendations now, and let me see if you are still able to see my. I think I have to do the screen share screen again, and then select what do we have. Okay, so this okay, now we are able to see the lifestyle intervention, the addition for um, this workshop. And I have sent you to everybody the same sheet what we have projected here, especially those who have registered for the vision workshop, for the lifestyle workshop. And so what is the objective? The objective is the holistic natural ways to improve the vision challenges and that we have. And so what are the specific yoga therapy intervention? We do have weekly guided session for 12 weeks, for the next 12 weeks. Once again, you have already received one such kit in the last class already. So there are uh, daily practices which have been typed up and written there, and there is weekly activity. I'll go ahead and change this as daily and weekly activities rather than practice. So those are already given. So every week you're going to expect similar kids, and some of them may be repeat because we want the children to go ahead and get the good hold on what they are and why we are doing. So the first class was mostly we focused on the general body stretching and general relaxation and the specific relaxation. And we did also had a chance to do a couple of vision games, and children were kept engaged, and children also learned about those practices. Although we don't tell the so much of reasons behind what they do, but eventually in the next 11 sessions we will also start telling them, giving them the ideas of why they are doing what they are doing now. um, so that will be our guided yoga sessions. The other one is the weekly virtual classes. So from next week on, from Wednesdays, we will start having 8:30 to 9 p.m., 8:30 p.m. to 9 p.m., half an hour of virtual sessions, for virtual guided sessions by a live teacher, just like what we are doing now. We will all log in. You will all get a link, and then you will log in, and you don't have to necessarily keep the screen in front of the children, but you can have them listen because there is nothing much to see. Although we will project some of the pictures of the practices, so that just for the parents' sake, so that they can guide their children when they are doing the virtual class. We will project some, and we have um, uh, so we will do a live session on the every Wednesday virtual class. Next part is the weekly activity, as we talked about, and we talked about the daily and weekly practice kits also. So I'll take this out from here because we have a separate area where um, we have listed the home practice kits. Next part is a very important part, although the top part we have discussed in our classes, in our open house, and sometimes in your calls that we have spoken with you. Now will something new that is added through the expert panel, Dr. Naveen, his recommendations. Dr. Naveen is holistic integrative medicine doctor, a naturopath, a yoga researcher from last 20-25 years, has published 40 to 50 papers on yoga research, and now he is into applied research of integrative health. So this is what we have received from him, and we are going to go over with this. So the diet recommendation is healthy, balanced diet includes more vegetables and fruits in daily diet. So there is a chart down here. We're going to go over, and you already have it. You all have it. You should be able to open it and start looking down if you have not done yet. Now, so there are food supplements, or just foods, not food supplements. These are general recommendations for food. What would empower the eye health? So you can see basil, parsley, spinach, kale, peas, lettuce, green pepper, broccoli. So there are so many different things. One is the vegetable side, and one is the carbohydrate side. What kind of carbohydrate and protein would help the vision? So next part is we'll come up again and go with the next part. Functional foods, vitamin A. We definitely know that is very helpful for the eyes, general eye condition. So this is there is a link that he has provided where you can order these functional foods, or vitamin A is a nutritional supplement. And once again, you're welcome to talk to your doctor before you have your child start these. And once you have an okay from them, you can definitely start. Although these are not any medicines per se. These are only food supplements and herbs. We are going to go down with the herbs. So vitamin A, actually there is one more component which Dr. Naveen has sent with respect to the age group, and I will send a revised recommendation list once again. So there is a little change, like we are doing only for 2 months, first 15 days, first 15 days of the month, and next month again the second 15 days of the month. So in that way, there's a little change to it. I'm going to send that. We just got like the updated list is updated recommendations are just I just got it this morning, but I have to update that. So the second one is another the functional food. I mean, this is a supplement. Lutein is a supplement. So that is also with respect to the, it says I formula, and then go ahead and click them and see what they are and get familiar and read about everything. And then if you have any questions, we can either do over email, or at the end of the call today, we will open it up to the chat window is already open. But if there are any specifics, we will discuss it at the end. There are some herbs, basil, and again, these are all potent herbs. So which means that I can eat fresh basil. Of course, you start increasing your basil content in your food for your children. That is definitely one good way. But these ones they are all extracts. I mean, the potent extracts, or the what component of basil is needed has been extracted and made it in a capsule form. So it is like that. So why go with the capsules? Why not go with just the actual herb itself? Definitely, if we are able to meet this strength, 400 mg per day, then that's it's hard to get that. Another one is the mint and dill. So you can go ahead and check them out. The next part is again another important one. Manipulative therapies. Manipulative therapies are anything like Ayurveda, acupuncture, chiropractic treatments. So here we have included the Netra Tarpanam for the eye, for the vision. So he recommends 7 sessions once a month for 3 months. So it's a little. I think it might have been like twice, once a month for 6 months. I'll go ahead and check that. That's a little typo there. But he definitely recommends 7 sessions. So how do we go about doing that? Do I have to take them to the Ayurveda physician? So one thing what we can do is I'm still checking with Ayurveda physician who can come and teach the children, or the not the children per se, but mothers of the participating child in the class. So one session, we will, in one of the sessions, the 12 sessions, we will invite Ayurveda physician to have them show how you can do it at home. So maybe a couple of them you can get it done by the doctor, and then the rest of them you can do it at home. It may be as simple as just administering some ghee in the eyes in a certain way. So that and trust me, it can be doable, because I have my daughter who I have not done myself, but I've had it done through Ayurveda physicians. So next is the home remedies. Sleep, of course, we recommend 8 hours per day, must during the workshop. Outdoors, like say if they are playing something, and or just being in the park, or being in the sun, basically outdoors, any outdoor activity, outdoors in the form of outdoor activity. Hydration, water, lots of water, 2 to 4 liters. Rest, palming, he says every 30 minutes, focused work. So for example, when they are doing their homeworks, and then it's like for they continue it for 2 hours, then every 30 minutes make sure that they just simple rub their palms, and then they just do the little palming. And palming, they've learned it right from the first session, so they know when you say what palming is. And eye blinks, very important, because a lot of times when we are under some pressure, and when we have some things going on, we don't blink our eyes so much. So make sure they do blink their eyes, and when they're blinking, they can chant Brahmari, so that the duration, basically their mind is not at the blinking so much, but at their chanting. It's very hard for us to make the kids calm down. So one thing to distract them is through Brahmari, but it's actually not distracting. It's not distracting per se, but it will give a wonderful vibrations in the head region, and it automatically calms down. And this eye blinks and Brahmari can be also done just before their sleep. Brahmari is a must before their sleep, so that their sleep quality improves, and they can fall asleep faster. Because the child's mind is also very scattered with respect to the kind of activity they do the whole day, and even when they come home, they are in the same mode of doing something. So Brahmari teaches them to undo what they have done through the whole day, and it naturally carries them to the sleep. Next, medicated eye wash, and again we'll have a training session, one of the classes, and we'll go ahead and update the calendar for these sessions. One is the Ayurveda, and another one is the training sessions for the eye wash and the gel napi nasal wash. We'll teach the children, and of course, we want the parents to be around when we do that for those classes so that they learn smoothly. Gelneti is a nasal, so administering water into the one nostril, and the water automatically, when you tilt the head, automatically comes through out of the other nostril. And we can teach them, and of course, as young as early 6, maybe too young, but starting from 7 and above, um, it is definitely doable, and they will certainly learn it easily. So this is, I mean, we have a little disclaimer and cautionary notes and all that. You can go ahead and go through that at a later time. Now coming back to hold on, our PowerPoint slides here. Okay, so we got through the active therapy intervention, what is it, and what is passive therapy intervention. We learned both of those. And once again, why we are doing so much of focus? Why is the focus on the vision, on the eyes, so much? Because some of the facts actually were surprising to me as well when I started to study about this a couple of years ago. 2%. So the eyes make up only 2% of our total body weight, whereas 25% of the total nutrition goes to the eyes and the vision function, the overall vision function, not just the eyes per se, but the act of seeing, uh, what all coordination that takes place yeah, is that happens with 25% of the total nutrition, which means that there is a lot, the eyes need a lot of the nutrition. And another interesting fact was the cranial nerves associated with the vision. We have 12 cranial nerves for the in the brain, and 4 pairs of we have 12 pairs of cranial nerves, and out of them, 4 are associated with vision, which is 1/3. And just one cranial nerve can handle the cardiac and digestive functions, but just the vision takes up that much of capacity of our cranial nerves. And that's why it is very important to take care of our eyes and the whole act of vision, the functioning of the eyes. Next one is the integrated approach of yoga principles. How does this, the integrated approach of therapy principles? It used to be yoga, but now since we have added other modalities, other integration, or other therapies such as we saw Ayurveda, we saw herbs, we saw some lifestyle changes. So that's why we call it as a therapy, not just the yoga therapy. So what we are doing here, we're trying to improve awareness in the children for sure, and awareness about themselves, awareness about their eyes, awareness about there is just as there is something beyond, and there is a help. So they always, the children, when they start wearing glasses, the dependency part becomes more, and the awareness starts decreasing. So here we are trying to make the children aware of the fact that there is some help which can be availed naturally. So another one is the relaxing the eye muscles. Of course, uh, we want to relax the eye muscles through the eye practices. We eye practices actually stimulate, and then we stimulate and strengthen, and the relaxation, the immediate relaxation followed by that, gives a deep rest to the eye muscles. So it is stimulation and followed by the relaxation. Just like our yoga therapy principles work, we stretch a part of the body and then we relax instantaneously after that. So which means that there is a bit of stimulation, there is there's a lot of awareness that is created, and with that awareness, when you relax, what happens is the circulation and the blood circulation in that part of the body increases. So in that way, in the same way, we apply the same principle here to the eye muscles, because somebody with a vision challenge has um, somebody with a vision challenge has eye muscles are uh, have had become very tight, and the because makes the eye muscles very tight. So in the same way as when we have a back pain, there's a lot of prana hidden there. There's a lot of pain hidden there. There's a lot of trapped energy hidden there. So same thing we apply to the eye muscles. How the back muscles are painful, in the same way eye muscles become painful, and the inflammation in the eye muscle might have increased as well. So the stimulation and relaxation form of exercises that we do is very helpful in order to relax, rest, and see better. So another goal or the principle here that we follow is to strengthen the eye muscles. We talked about it. Visual functioning, improve the blood flow, vitalize the blood receptors in the retina through passive therapy boost. And we looked at all the herbs and the intervention like Ayurveda. What are they going to do? They are going to help us with the giving a boost to our challenge. And of course the active therapy, which happens when we do the yoga, when we do the eye practices, when we do weekly activity, when we do daily activities. So how are we making this happen? So we are trying to make it or we are having it integrate at all levels. What are the levels here? So there is a concept in yoga of panchakosha, which means that a person, an individual, exists as five different sheets. Not as it's not everything is not different, but I am my body, which is my physical body. I am my energy, my vital energy sheet, which is not seen, but we are. There is a life because there is a vital energy. So there is that part. Next part is my intellect. My intellect is where my thoughts are, my the notions are, and there is a distinction between good and bad. And the next one is the mind itself, where emotions and my thoughts, where uncontrolled thoughts, where at the mind level we have uncontrolled thoughts. At Vijnana level, at the intellect level, we have controlled thoughts because we have a faculty of recognizing between the good and bad. But the mind itself, when any thought arises, it arises with no nothing that can stop, like air. It can flow in any direction. But when the Vijnana comes, that faculty of ours comes, it can tell us what we can do and what we cannot do. And to a great extent, this intellect sheep is acquired, because the environment plays a very important role in making this nurture the intellectual sheep. The last one is the bliss sheep, which is attained actually through all of the above. So now we will go ahead and see what can we do in this workshop at all these different five sheets. Even the children have all these. There's Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya, Vijnana, Manomaya, and Anandamaya. Children are in the Anandamaya Kosha for most of the times, because it is very easy to make a child happy as opposed to the to an adult, because once again our Vijnana has grown, and it is very hard for us to even recognize between the good and bad. But anyways, we are dealing with the children here. So at the physical sheet, what we're doing, again, the passive therapies and exercise part of active therapy is all helping us in the physical sheet, which means that it is nurturing, it is correcting, strengthening our eyes directly. Pranamaya Kosha, the vital energy through, we are also learning pranayama and breathing exercises. So breath coordinated body movements, that is one set. Another set is the breathing practices itself, like the Nadi Shuddhi, Kapalabhati, Brahmari. So all that are introduced in a systematic way to the children, so that they can practice on a regular basis. Vijnanamaya Kosha, what we do, and as I was mentioning earlier, that we will start bringing the components of why we do what we do in a very subtle way for the children in the classes very soon. So that becomes our nurturing at our intellectual plane or intellectual sheet, to create awareness, to help them understand their health. Manomaya Kosha, we do meditation practice, and some of you attended, or all of the parents did attend the first session, where we made it mandatory to sit around when the children practiced. And some of you can say how calm and peacefully these children were sat for the last 10 minutes doing a simple palming against the wall in the dark. And although we constantly helped them in the beginning, but finally they were able to meditate, relax, and slow down their activity. So we are going to constantly teach that. Anandamaya Kosha, as we mentioned, it is attained through all of the above, all of these practices that we do. So every time practice like simple asana we do, at the end of the asana, there is experience of this bliss. There is an experience of Ananda. And we will teach the children how to experience the Ananda in every bit of activity they do, not just the exercise, but in a whole day, in a daily activity, how to be experiencing, how to feel that Ananda, or how to make that happen, or how to experience and be in that Ananda after each and every activity. Eye practices. So what we are doing is the preparatory practices, which are the muscle strengthening, basically up and down, side to side, rotating in both the directions. So we follow it by palming, and actually sometimes we do just simple eyeball movements, but most of the times we do it as in the form of vision games. So the last time they did swinging, and swinging is a form of a muscle strengthening practice as well. But it was we made it a little more interactive. We made it much more easy for children to do, and involving. So in that way, it becomes a little um, fun for them to do in a game form. Eye practices, we do gazing or prataka. Here we are doing moving prataka, where we don't actually like gaze at one point and be there for a longer time, not like a classical Trataka, but we are going to do it as a moving Trataka. So and actually the swinging is also form of the swinging practice that we did is also a form of Trataka. You're focusing on the index fingertip, but you're moving the body. So in that way, it's not a static Trataka, but it's a moving Trataka. Again, we will introduce the children with the different forms of Trataka as we go along. So we also use heavily the Bates method. Dr. Bates was pretty much the he came about 90 to 95 years ago, and he was an eye doctor. He was an ophthalmologist, and he said that eyes can improve, the vision can improve. He was the first one to start that, and he gave many fun and practical practices, or something which can be doable kind of practices, and we're going to heavily use them in the classes, such as the one which we did, swinging, and we will also teach the sunning. Although we may not be able to do it in every class, we will introduce children to the sunning, calming, night walks, and of course we had an activity of night walk this time, but there are many more. I've just listed few for our reference here. We also are okay, so now I think what we are going to do here is talk about the goal of the project. Mm, Once again, it is to provide the techniques, improve awareness. We discussed about that. Reduce general stress and localized stress. Localized stress, here we are talking about the eyes, and the eye muscles, and the facial muscles, upper body, shoulders, neck, because a lot of times there is a problem with the posture, there is a problem with the ergonomics, that the children are sitting, the way they are sitting, the way they are functioning, the way they are doing homeworks, the way they are even walking. So there are a lot of things that happen. So um, how do we help in those ways? We will give them the good set of yoga stretches. We will teach them, and those help in a proper stretching, and as well as finally when we teach the relaxation practices, it will help improve and reduce the stress in those parts of the body. So once again, as we talked about in our in the open session, no miracles here, and yeah, definitely you may or you may not see a whole lot of change, or you may even see some change in 3 months. But we are going to give a path. We are going to carve a path for your children and you, and to so the just like any other holistic practice, there is a persistence, there is diligence, there is efforts, and definitely trust in the system. And we hope to do the proper clinical documentation. So we have Dr. Naveen's involvement heavily in the whole project from the last year. And this time he has taken very personal attention, since we got some good results in the last workshop, and which says that there is a lot of work to do, and there is a lot of things that we can do and see a progress. With that said, I would like to let you know that we do have health assessments starting from Thursday. We will do it and finish up all the health assessment for all the children before or by Sunday night. So you will get a call from us, and we will schedule a session with you online, and then we'll do a health assessment. That is one thing. And the secondly, as I mentioned, there are some changes to the calendar with respect to the field trips. We have changed some dates with the, keeping in mind the weather and also the availability of the trade shows. But we are adding an Ayurveda physician visit, and we are also adding the Kriya session, the Jalaniti and the eye wash on the training session in one of the classes. So those are the things we wanted to discuss. And let me come back to you all and see if there are any questions. And now we can open it up actually. So if you have any questions, we can type up. And okay. 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 Kosha says it is live still and not able to see. Yeah, no worries. I'll send those presentation slides, and also this session is being recorded, which means that the webinar gem, the service that we are using, is also helping us record. So, which means that I'll post it. You will in the next few hours. You will be getting the recording of this session. Yeah. What is Brahmari? Okay, very good question. Brahmari is very simple, and the kids did it in the last session. So we just take a deep breath as long as we can inhale. So, and as we get ready to exhale, we chant the sound of like a humming bee. So I'm just gonna demo that. So yeah, and the children really love it. They do it, and we did it in a little a fun way. Of we all became the Brahmara, the humming bee, and we all started to hum for a few rounds. So and Brahmari, as I was mentioning in the talk earlier, that it's a wonderful way of letting the children to sleep. And in my daughters, I just ask them to do Brahmari, and if the mind is still chattering, I just ask them to double it up. So they do about 10 or 15, and at the end of the 15, almost ready to snore. They are ready to sleep. By the way, they are 7 and 5. So, any more questions? Yeah, for some reason, maybe looks like the link to this webinar went out a little late. I mean, this morning, I think around noon time or so, there are not many people on the training, but luckily we have it recorded, so we can definitely send it over. So, as many questions you want to ask now, that will all be recorded, and which will be made available to the others as well, to their benefit and your benefit as well. So even Kosha and so Surekha is not there, I guess. But if you have any questions, please go ahead and ask. I know we are also starting classes in Fremont, and we have Fremont teachers who will be teaching the classes. They are also on the call today. So if you have any questions, please go ahead with them. especially with the lifestyle intervention or the changes that they're suggesting. If you have any questions, I'm happy to take it up. Or any practices that we are doing, why, how, definitely. And as much as the children are involved in these sessions and these practices, in this whole movement, I would like to invite all the parents to get involved at the same level, so that it motivates them, one thing, and also it benefits you, and it also gives like a feeling of family time for the children. So, are you all able to hear me still? So we have Anu, we have Divya, Kosha, Prashanti, Ravi, Shalaka, Surekha. Wow, so we have everybody. Senthil, no questions. Okay. Kosha, please send us links that we talked about today. Uh, Absolutely. We all will get some links, and there's a lot of material. Um, okay. Yes. So you all say you can hear. Okay. Perfect. So um, once again, this time, one more thing I wanted to go over. Shalaka, just I don't have any question. Thank you for presentation. Okay. Health assessment will be a little detailed form this time. We have a few parents and few children who have been continuing this workshop from the last couple of times, and we every time we do the health assessment. This time the health assessment will be done a little bit more elaborate, in the sense there are um some questions or some areas that um, we would like to address, and don't be surprised with so many questions being asked. When we set up a health assessment, if you please allocate an hour with us, it might be one of our, it might be either Mansi, me, or maybe one more person doing the health assessments this time, and it will be a little elaborate. Why? Because as I just went over, saying that we do need some clinical form of documentation to see how the changes that we have made are affecting. And also there will be a release form that we will have you sign, or actually it is a information form, or we are going to inform you that there is a little clinical documentation that will be done after the workshop is over. Okay, so it looks like we are good to go, and I will not hold you anymore unless you have any specific questions, and you can come back and ask me in the email form, or you can call me. I'm readily available to. I'll make myself available to talk to each one of you if you have any questions. Yep, thank you very much, and I will see you all next Saturday and Sunday during the classes. Thank you.